Good day. So today I got another shotgun video for you here. This is the Model 37 Ithaca Featherlite. So like the name suggests, it is really light for a shotgun as long as it is, and most produced shotgun in the world, I believe, the Model 37. It's what the police carried for the longest time. So I guess I'll show you today how to take this one apart. So as usual, you want to start off with taking the stock off, since it is such a long gun, get rid of some of the weight. It is a 3/8 of an inch bolt in the back there. I already took mine out, so you can just pop that right off, and it comes out here under the cover there. So get that out of your way, and then next I'll start with the barrel. That way, 30-inch barrel, it isn't in your way as you're trying to take it apart. So on your band here, there is a screw, and you just want to pop that guy out first. And that's going to take that right off your barrel and allow your barrel to turn freely. So put that aside. And then your lug here at the end of your magazine, if you turn that counterclockwise, away from yourself, you'll notice a gap appear here, and from there you can't give your barrel, maybe not, give your barrel a little half twist there, and it should pop right out. And as you saw there, the slide has to be all the way back for that to operate for you. So next you've got the trigger housing, which is attached with this screw here. So you can pop that guy out, and then your trigger housing should slide right out of the back. And then you might have to fire it just to get that hammer out of the way, and you can pull it right out. Alright. So from there, all that's left is your bolt and your carrier and your elevator. So next we'll take that elevator out, and it is held in here with a little set screw and then a little bit of a bigger screw. So you can start by taking that set screw out, followed by that larger screw, and there is one on either side there. And then once you get those out, flip it back over, and your cartridge interrupter here will be loose, so you can just take that out and set it aside. And then take your pump back, and your elevator will just slide right out of there. And this is kind of the interesting part here. So your carrier is attached to your action arm here, right on your pump, with this little pin right here. I don't know if you can see that. So you do have to bring that pin over, away from well, I guess towards yourself if you're facing this way. Away from this arm here anyways, and then all this should slide pretty freely out of there. So see if I can do it in such a way that you can see it. So you slide it over like that, and then the whole thing should slide right out of there, and your bolt and your carrier will be two pieces. From there you can take your pump off just by unscrewing this lug the whole way, and you slide this banding off, and then everything should slide out, and your magazine will be free, and you can clean it all from there. So putting it together is kind of the same thing. The only tricky part here is getting your bolt and your carrier back in. There is a little bit of fiddling you have to do with it. So anyways, if you get them lined up like that, they kind of sink into each other. And you do have to get this pin out of the way as you're putting it in. And your cartridge stop right here, if you can see that at all, hold it this way, it is on a spring, and you'll have to move that a little bit out of the way to get your carrier in. So you can start by putting your bolt in a little ways, and then get your carrier lined up, and then that's when you intersect your cartridge stop there. So you can get your screwdriver in there and push the whole thing in, and from there it'll stop, and that'll be on the arm, the action arm to your pump here, and that's where you go back to get that lined up, pull that pin back again, and it should just click right into place, and everything's attached. So from there, move your pump all the way back, and then you can line up your elevator right here. And so you just spread those apart, put your elevator in, and then slide everything forward as one unified piece. Then you can line up your hole there to get your larger screw in again. I always find it's easier to start them by hand and then screw them in. And they don't have to be tight, but you have to make sure that those little indents on the bigger screw line up to where the set screw is going to sit. And then you put your set screw in, These guys are pretty small, so it's a little bit finicky. You can forget sausage fingers or anything like that. Get that screwed in tight, and then you just want to do the exact same on the other side there. Make sure your hole is lined up. Get that pin in there. And then again, like I said, it doesn't have to be tight, you just have to make sure that indent lines up, and then your set screw will take care of keeping everything where it's supposed to be. That goes in there. Alright. So from there, you really got your cartridge interrupter and your trigger house in there. So I'll start by just putting the cartridge interrupter there. So you do want to pull your thumb about halfway back there, and your cartridge interrupter will slide into place. And it only comes out on the one side there, so it'll be easy to tell where it goes. And from there, slide everything forwards, and then you can just slip your trigger housing right back into where it's supposed to be. Line up your holes there. Oh, other side. Put in your screw. So the next step will just be putting the barrel back on, which is pretty easy. And you'll notice here, part of it is threaded and part of it is not. And then you do have your little wing here, so you'll put the barrel in sideways so the non-threaded part is facing up. And then just give it a, want to make sure it sits in there kind of where it's supposed to. Might have to find it. They can be a little bit finicky, some of these guns. It's not going to cooperate for me. Oh, that's right. So, foolish mistake I made. Your ejector there is in the way, so you do have to bring your slide back so nothing's obstructing your barrel. And then, like I said at first there, put it in so your non-threaded side is up, line everything up, and then you should be able to just give her a twist in there. There you go. And you can line that back up with your lug, then screw your lug back out to lock that all into place. Now from there, you just slip your pin back into your banding there, and screw it in, and then the last step will be your stock again. And I won't waste your time by fiddling around with that, but there it is. And there's your Ithaca Model 37 Featherlite. So secondly, just with this gun especially, I like to kind of go into the importance of having a lot of different bits. So this is the Wheeler Engineering screwdriver set, and nothing really that special. It does have a lot of different lengths and widths of bits, as well as some specialty tools and Allen keys, Torx, that sort of thing. So for the $60 it cost me, it definitely saves marring up your rifles or ruining the screws in them up or anything like that. So good investment anyways. Take care.